a high-level sensor alarm made to screw into the 3/4 inch threaded opening on the top of the 55-gallon drum. You can adjust the level that you want the alarm to go off in the process. This one here is set for about 4 inches, but I'll show you how it works. It has an on-off switch and a test. The test just lets you know that the battery is working. The level in this is about 4 inches down from the top, so as I dip it in here, it should start going off anytime now. This is 1/2 inch Schedule 40 PVC. I get the gray stuff because it really doesn't matter. You can use the white or the gray, as long as it's Schedule 40. This is cut to 1 foot long. It's longer than the one in my prototype, and that's for a reason. This one was set for 4 inches. We might want to set this for 5 or 6 inches for a level. But we're going to glue this 3/4 inch threaded terminal adapter into our FSE box. They'll just glue right in there, and then this will glue on the inside of this. But first, we're going to have to grind this down a little bit so that it'll fit in here, and we have to be real careful when we're grinding this down. It's 1 turn on the grinder from perfect to 2 loose. 2 loose is no good, throw it away. It's cheap anyways, but I'll go ahead and grind this down and we'll show you how that works. We're going to put a mark down on this. This is 1 foot long again, about 1 inch, because 1 inch is how far it needs to go inside here for a good fit. So we'll go ahead and grind this down. I use the edge of the grinder for this because it's nice. I can get 1 inch on it. It's safe to do this way, and it's a good flat surface, and it's just plastic. So we'll go ahead and show you how to do that. You can see here I've ground it down 1 inch back so that this will fit inside the threads. It's kind of a tough fit here, but that's what you want. Just like that. It's a good fit. You'll want to use PVC cement for the gray conduit and glue this in here. And then of course you want to make sure that you get the stickers off of here good and glue this in your FSE box. And there you have the start of it. Now I'm going to show you how to make the actual sensor. This is the most critical part to this, and it's the only thing I'm going to show you how to make because it's the only thing you need to know. We have a DigiKey magnetic sensor. It comes 2 parts, the magnet actuator and the actual sensor. It's like $3 and $4. I'll put the magnet aside. That's going to go in the float. This part here will be stationary. This is 1/4 inch PEX tubing, and this is cut 8 inches long. Go ahead and put this sensor in here. Stick it out the end a little bit. You're going to want to put some hot glue. You don't want to use PVC cement. You want to use hot glue. Any other kind of solvents, gasoline or oil, whatever you're sensing, will dissolve. Hot glue on this. Push it flush. Let that cool, and then scrape off any excess glue you have on the bottom of it. This is going to go inside this tube we made, just like that. And of course this will be glued already in your box. So once you have the entire unit made, you'll want to adjust the height right here for where you want it to set off. So what you'll do is you'll stick the whole box down in your oil or whatever you're sensing, move this up or down, or start with it high, move down until it sets the alarm off, and that's where you're going to want to glue it. And the way to glue it, what I usually do is I take a tie strap, I don't know if you can see this right here, and I put the tie strap on the outside of this tubing, right here, and that way then I pull the tie strap tight to hold it in place. Then I went down here, I pulled it up, drilled 4 fairly large holes, pushed it back down to where it belongs, and put hot glue in it to hold the sensor where we want it. Now I'll show you how to make the actual float that floats up and down with the oil. This goes in here like this, So now we're going to need a float in the bottom of here to go up and down. So for that, we take this magnet, we cut a piece of that 1/4 inch PEX tubing, the same size. It's a perfect fit in there. Same thing again. Hot glue it, put it together. Use your fingernail and pick off any excess hot glue on the outside of that. Then for the stickler, glow sticks from Walmart. I know you're laughing right now, but the thing is, these are the perfect size to fit inside this 1/2 inch PVC to make a float. They're only $3 for a pack of 10. What you want to do is cut this end off and then shake out the glass tube that's in there and discard all that stuff, and then take an air compressor, blow this out so it's really dry. What you want to end up with is 2.5 inches. Excuse me, 2 inches long. It really doesn't matter how long you make this, but if you make them all the same, once you get the height set in one, you won't have to check them all. You can just set them all the same. You know they're going to be identical. But this one's 2 inches long. Then you take this piece here that you glued in. Now you can see on the end of this magnet, one side is flat, the other side is kind of concave in like a meniscus, and that's the bottom. It really doesn't matter. I've checked it. It works fine both ways, but that's the way it's really supposed to go. So this will be glued in there, and then you're going to want to glue this in the end of this. It's a little bit hard to go in. You want to get it started before you get your glue on it, and put your hot glue on it, and then push it all the way down flush. I'm not going to push this one flush now. I'm just going to leave it so I can mail you this. But what you're going to end up with is a perfect float. This, with the fat side down, the magnet side up, will go in the bottom of this. Let's get this out of the way. This will go in the bottom of this. It's a perfect fit. That's what floats up and down in there. Now, whenever you drill holes in this, you're going to want to make sure that you get any debris that's inside there out of there so that this doesn't hang up on it. You're going to want to also, whenever you establish the right height for this, you're going to want to pull it up a little bit, because you're going to want to drill your holes that you're going to use to hot glue it. But then right below this, you're going to want to drill 4 holes so that any air can escape, because if you've got oil on the side of this, this is a pretty good piston effect, and you don't want any air pockets keeping this float down. So you're going to want to drill some, they don't have to be big holes, just some relief holes right there, just to let the air out so this thing can go up and down good. And I would recommend using, probably a 1/4 inch hole for all of those holes. Once you've got this mounted inside of here, then you're going to want to drill a real small hole across the bottom, stick a piece of wire in it, hot glue the ends. That'll keep your float from falling out the bottom. And there's not a whole lot to say about this. I mean, it's 2 switches, mount the piezo buzzer to the lid. I mounted my battery right here, up and down, as far as I could get it to the edge so that the buzzer has room to fit in here. You could mount that sideways. I was worried that this might be in the way of it, but I think it probably would have been all right. But I'll mount it up and down like that. It's going to be easier to pull this out and replace this battery when it goes bad. These are all simple solder joints. There's a gasket on here. You could actually use a little hot glue and put the gasket on there so that it would never come off. You know, as you're changing batteries, it's probably a good idea to do that. But basically, that's it. One thing I forgot to mention to you, on the sensor, the stationary sensor, the part that goes in the top on this 8-inch piece of quarter inch PEX, save the pieces of the glow stick that you cut off, and instead of throwing those away, put a piece around the end right here. That way, when this mounts, it's a little bit tough to get in there, but it does fit perfectly. And when you get this mounted inside here, it helps keep the sensor in the very center of this half-inch PVC.